EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight, we wrap a busy first week of the season with a second of two on a Monday night between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Cardinals. Damian Harris, 75 yards. And the Cardinals are on the board here first in the season opener. Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Murray now. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It's taken to the 26.
Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Lance going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
84 yards for him on the ground in this first quarter. He has been tremendous to start the new year.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And some room to run now. Touchdown, Cardinals. Damian Harris, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it.
And the Cards are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Lance now to throw.
Looking middle, and that's complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel.
On the move past the 40. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 70 yards. And the 49ers are back within a score. Now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays. Make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
first down, and they go back to Harris.
He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Murray with a 3rd and long. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had a short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Completes it to Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
First down, here's Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
But once again, it's Mitchell.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
From midfield, here's Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Ready.
On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning.
On the double.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
And now they'll throw with Lance. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he'll take this one up to about the 13.
189 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. And the Cards are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Murray now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
A final shot before half for Murray. He's going to look deep for more.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Now Lance.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And some space here. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 239 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Second and goal from the 1. Harris. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
It's good, and it is now 21-7.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Only a couple there. It's going to be brought down about the 28.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. But able to haul it in is Kittle.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Trying the right side with Mitchell.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here's Lance.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Rocky Sin.
And the Cardinals are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They overload him that time on the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll try the right side with Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16.
So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Lance looking to throw it.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And they'll go for it. Lance complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk, 17 yards there on 4th down. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Set. 6. Measure.
Again, it's Lance.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack.
Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Throwing now is Lance.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Lance.
And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cards are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. He finds some open, and now off to the races, down the right side, past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Damian Harris with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Cardinals are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at Week 1, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in Week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
And 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Lance.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sag.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And now here is another interception.
And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Damian Harris from 17 yards out.
And the Cards are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Cards are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
To throw, it's Murray. He's got it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
When you get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the turnover, here's Murray. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Ready?
Another run with Mitchell.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try to find some targets in the open field downfield.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Ready? Get up! Get up!
Desperation time here. Lance.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Cards, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.